are, and we're never really live during the playoff game. I wish LSU was playing tonight or tomorrow. Are you doing what it takes to make sure a year from now you are in the same exact or in the same situation or not in the same situation and you're playing in a playoff game? That you're a Final Four team? Because the only thing that I want, I'm going to already tell you what I want for Christmas this year. You ready? I want to go to the playoff. I want to be in the Final Four. That's what I want. That's what I want. Screw all those other four teams that are in there. I could care less about any one of those Rudy Poos. But tonight you got a college football playoff game. We're going to break down both of them here tonight. Some of you get mad when we don't talk all LSU. You can get over it. I want to be in the playoff. I want to be one of those top four teams. Are you doing what it takes to get there? That is the question that I have for you. If you're a player, are you doing what it takes to get there? Well, Blake, we just got done with the season. I could give two Rudy Poos. I could give two Rudy Poos. Are you doing what it takes to be elite? Nevertheless, we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a Windbar to give out. I don't know how many people give out gifts in the media. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. I don't watch them, so what does it matter? Tonight, we're going to do a raffle. We're giving out a Windbar, customized, signed Windbar. Might have your name on it. Might be electric. And I'm going to let you decide. When do you want us to do the drawing? I think we're going to do it at the end of the show. But we're going to do a drawing tonight. 147 people gave. 147 people gave to the collective that you tagged us in. That's why you got to have a whole gallon Ziploc bag full of names that we have to draw here tonight. We are going to do that. I hope every one of you that gave and sent it in to us, that you are going to have the chance, and I hope that you do win it. I will admit, there is one, maybe two, things in this little drawing, pieces of paper that have Ben Ruffino's name on it. If I do draw it, I promise we will redraw. I do promise you that. But there is two, because I donated in my son's name, and he got a sweet little gift for it. I'll give him that. So if we do, we'll get you guys the Windbar instead of us. Tons of questions throughout the last 24 hours, which, by the way, 15 minutes ago, or about 30 minutes ago, whatever it was, we broke the 24-hour fast. I don't know if any one of you went along with us on it. Mind-bogglingly clear how things go. So I got a lot of questions in the last 24 hours. Blake, what's up with play calling? Can you talk about the coaching search at tight end? Well, we'll talk about the coaching search tonight at tight end. You asked for it. It was actually our first question inside the show here tonight from Philip Rose. Hey, Blake, any updates on LSU might hire some coaches? We will get to that tonight. We will get to that tonight. I promise you. We will get to it. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about play calling, where I think is going on there, why I think they built the team all around Garrett Nussmeier. Why wouldn't you? You would build your team around your quarterback too. But I think play calling is going to dictate that, and I don't think anything changes in the running game. I don't. But we'll get to it. You asked, so we'll get to it. We'll break the college football playoff down. We'll talk about coaching staff. We'll do a raffle here. We'll take your thoughts, questions, concerns like we do or try to do on most Thursdays as we wrap up the week here. So we'll get to all of that too. Got a couple in here. Let's get to a couple comments. Blank Face says USC and Florida, man. Yeah, 100%. 1,000% you were accurate on that. I was having this conversation with some friends the other day, and they had asked me, and I just told them the truth. I do not believe that you should have lost to either one of them. You did lose to one of them, and it sucks. It 100% purely sucks. You had the ball for 40 minutes against Florida. You dominated the entire game, and you continue to find ways to lose because you didn't hit open passes. You couldn't run the ball on third down. You got obliterated at guard. You got obliterated at center. Twice you got obliterated at tackle. You couldn't stop the run in the fourth quarter. You'd barely been on the field all day, so there's no way that you could be tired. And when you needed your safety needed to make a tackle at the end of it all, you couldn't. To win a game, you couldn't. And look, man, I got to tell you, this is how I am on a playoff game day. The way that I am is I get a little aggravated. Right? Like I get a little aggravated in the sense of that I want LSU in this thing. Why aren't you getting there? Why aren't you doing everything humanly possible that it takes? Because you could have been in the playoff. You should have been in the playoff. Even though I don't think you were great. Boy, oh boy. Christopher Westbrooks says, let's go. Good to have you in here with us. Alexander Taylor says, we could have been 11-1 this year and could have been 6-6 as well. 100% agree. Like, look, I don't think I do not think that you should have won against Ole Miss or South Carolina. I don't think that you would have won against South Carolina if Sellers goes down. And then the law of averages, the law of football, which it normally does, finds a way to come up and creep up on you and take your legs out from under you. So, yeah, I agree. Daniel Bentley says Louisville OT, Monroe Mills is officially in the portal. Yeah, I do think that Monroe Mills is an interesting case. I think that Monroe Mills he had a do not contact on his profile when he entered. Virginia is going to get a first visit. But if Virginia can outspin you, God help us all. God help us all. Lance says, let's go, Big Blake. Good to have you in here, Lance. Douglas says, now that's me right there, bro. If you're talking about wanting to be in the playoff, 1,000%. 1,000%. I am not going to back off of that. I mean, why wouldn't you? Are you doing what it takes? That's all I ask. Are you doing what it takes? Y'all think I'm being petty. No, I just want to make it to a damn playoff. I want to make it to a damn playoff. That's why. Alexander also says, I heard we were in the running for Connor Moore, the Montana State tackle. Here's what I'm going to say. You guys have got to start listening to people that actually know what the hell they're doing. There, I said it. You got people out here clamoring that you're tampering. It's idiotic. It's idiotic. Now, that kid's going to enter the portal, not officially in the portal. So you're not. Jesus H. Christ. It beats me. Oh, look at me. Beats the hell out of me. Anyway. Daniel says LSU wins the UF game. We in the SEC championship game. We not that far off. You are that far off. Because, Daniel, here's the thing. You are allowing 250 rushing yards per game on the ground in SEC losses. You suck at it. There, I said it. You suck at defending the run in big game moments. You suck at it. You're one of the conference's worst. So you're right. Do I believe that USC, we should have beat them, and Florida, we should have beat them? I'm with you. We should have been in the playoff in that regard. So basically, I'm with you. But there also comes a part where you doing what it takes? Now, I think that you've done some really good things in the portal. I just don't. I hate. I loathe. I despise you not being where you need to be. Despise it. It pisses me off. But yeah. Anyway, Matthew says we also should have lost to SC. That's what I was saying, Matt. We are not where we should be. I agree. We're not where we should be. I think you can get there with the D-line that you brought in. Hopefully your linebacker core is all right. But a lot of you asked me about play calling and what we're going to do at the tight end position. So opinion, we will talk about it. All right, and we got to do a drawing. I'm going to ask you this first. Do you want us to do it now or at the end of the show? It doesn't matter to me. We're going to do, if you don't remember, if you have given to Bayou Traditions, the $100 giveaway, for every $100, we put your name in this entry one time. We had a duplicate of a lot of people because you gave more than $100. What I would say is this. It's up to you. Do you want us to do it now, later, at the end of the show? I would recommend doing it at the end of the show, but we're going to do it. We got it right here. I'm looking forward to you guys getting a customized signed Windbar. Not from me. The winner is going to get to know who's we're going to get to sign. We're going to get somebody to sign it. Aaron Miller says, scheme, personnel, strength staff as reason not stopping run. Personnel, I think, is a big deal. Aaron, I think it's an absolutely massive deal. Scheme is interesting because you've had multiple different schemes now with two different coordinators, and neither one of them worked. One of them was aggressive. One of them was passive and catching blocks. Neither one of them worked. So it's got to come down to one thing, personnel. Strength staff is interesting. Jake Flint's got an interesting offseason. He got an interesting offseason. You know, most of you were calling for Tommy Moffitt's head at the end of his tenure, and I don't see anybody calling for Jake Flint's. Y'all letting Jake Flint get away with well more than y'all ever let Tommy get away with, and Tommy was here for 3 national titles. Shit, he was here for 4 national titles. And you know why I'm probably a little aggravated? Our good friend Cruz on Twitter, you know, it's the anniversary today about you getting there in 2011 and you losing. It is January the 9th. So that's probably why I'm a little pissed off. It's an anniversary of us getting our asses kicked. All right, let's get to it. We're going to do it at the end of the show. Drawing at the end of the show. Makes sense. I'm with you. All right, let's get rolling here. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like and share. Share to all those groups on Facebook and to all those social media pages. You're watching us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. Before we get rolling, we're going to have a commercial here about our good buddy Tyler Alexander. All I ask is my man needs some prayers. Send prayers for our good friend Tyler Alexander. We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. In the break, hit the like and share. Also, tell us where you're watching from. We greatly appreciate y'all doing that too. Let me get to this break. We'll come back. Lots of questions about what I think about play calling more offensively. We'll get to that. Tight end coach. Let's start talking about that a little bit more. We'll get to that. Then we'll get to Raffle and a whole bunch more. Stay with us. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag.
He will sell your house and find you a new. Well, Tyler's the man, he's here for you. If you want to buy or sell, well, it's not too late. Dial 955-0008. Just call 955-0008. Y'all call Tyler, he'll shoot you straight.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
All right. Let's get to it here. A lot of interesting questions from you guys the last couple days, so let's get to a couple. Do us a favor, hit the like and share. We greatly, greatly appreciate that. Jamie says, ND baby. They have a good chance to win tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Their team's battling the flu. It'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. I'm very much looking forward to it. We're having to go live. We do stuff for Rufino and Joe Shaw, our national stuff. At the end of every playoff game, we need to be really much locked tuned in that. Thank you for being with us on a time change. I probably should have mentioned this yesterday, but I completely forgot. So, got a lot of questions the last 24 hours about my opinion and just my thoughts about what play calling may look like and if play calling will be something that may change from 2024 going into 2025. And I think it's an interesting ordeal to talk about when it comes to play calling. Now, a lot of people ask the question, would Brian Kelly and company do anything, change anything when it comes to offensive play calling and move around some things with Joe Sloan? Doesn't appear to be the case. Looks like he's going to be sticking around clearly. And you do have a position coach need that is needing to be filled. Let's talk about what I think is going to look like from a play calling aspect. And we'll talk about both sides of the football very quickly. I know that we mentioned this a lot last night, but it was just such an overwhelming people asking. So let's talk about it. If you're going to ask, we're going to talk about it and give our opinion and our thoughts. I think by LSU's actions and what we've seen from them in the transfer portal does not mean that hardly anything is going to change from an offensive play calling standpoint. What do I mean? Well, you went out and got Barry and Brown. You went out and got Nick Anderson to go along with two very fast and vertical at times wide receivers in Aaron Anderson and Chris Hilton. So when I look at the room and I look at the offense and I look at the starters in that offense or potential starters in that offense, I see a wide receiver room that all have speed. Well, if that's what you're going and you're focusing in on when it comes to how you want to do things offensively, why in the good wide world would you not toss that pill around? And why wouldn't you with a quarterback and fitting with the players around him to the system that he wants to go by, why would you not try to put the best pieces around him? Guys, all you did was went in the portal with some of the top guys that you went after and got speed. Now that you have a healthy Chris Hilton, can he stay healthy is a big question that all of us want to know. And if he can, you can see the results that he can put on film and what he can do game in and game out. Now, even though a couple of games this year, he mistimed some jumps, he mistimed some things, he still got behind the defense. So you know that ability. You went out and got speed. You know what else you did in the high school ranks last year and this one? Well, you went out and got speed. Phillip Wright, Teron Francis. Guys, Phillip Wright is a really, really fast young man coming out of Destrehan. You're telling me without telling me what I think that you want to do. You want to toss that pill around. It's not even the wide receiver position. Now, I know that you want a little bit of mobility in your quarterback, and that's fine. But I look at Michael Van Buren, who, by the way, I hear all he's done is he's come into Baton Rouge the last couple of days, put his head down and gotten to work, and nobody's been saying anything, and he's just getting to work. Good on him. But Michael Van Buren, what did he have the most success in? Well, Blake, he ran a little bit, and he got out of some pressure. He made some really big Wait, vertical throws. Interesting. I think offensively, what you are going to try to do is exactly, to some extent, what you're going to do again next year until something changes. Now, I know Brian Kelly got more involved in play calling. He wants to run the ball more. Maybe they do. But until the time that you can show me on a consistent basis that you actually want to do it, and that not only do you actually want to do it, that you can do it consistently enough, then why aren't you going to go out there and toss the pill around? I think that they're going to go, as Louisiana Tech was with a lot of guys that were on that staff when Joe Sloan was there. I'm not going to say you're going to go full air raid, but it seems like that's what you're wanting to do. You have an offensive play caller that comes from an air raid system. I've seen those principles enacted at LSU once before. I saw it in 19. But for me, I think that you are going to try to be as vertical and as explosive as you can be. Not only vertical and explosive, getting the ball out to these fast guys really quickly and getting Garrett early throws. Guys, in the air raid principle system, the extension of your running game is going trips left, bubble screen. That is the nature of an extension of your running game, or checking the ball down. Some form of screen. Don't know if I necessarily mind that when you have a guy like Aaron Anderson and a guy like Barry Brown, who both can be electric, very electric with the ball in their hands. What does even a guy like Jelani Watkins do? So even your backups have world-class speed. You go out and get a tight end that is not known for blocking, never has been known for blocking, but my God, when he gets the ball in his hands, he can be dangerous. You're telling me without telling me based off of your actions. I think you're going to go out there and you're going to try to throw the ball around all over the place. That's what I think. Because you're going to have to then explain to me. You're going to have to explain to me what they're trying to accomplish. Now, I don't necessarily believe that every single principle that Joe Sloan has taken is full air raid. They didn't do that. But Garrett also didn't throw a lot of things that he probably needed to. Guys, you threw the ball 500 plus times this year. 500 plus times this season alone. So even if your principles aren't the same, the principle of being the same is that you want to go out there and toss the pill around. Literally in your second drive, instead of wanting to run the football, you threw bubble screen, bubble screen, bubble screen. 3 straight bubble screens is what Joe Sloan called. Then you ran mesh route. Then you take the top off with Chris Hilton because you could. Guys, you threw the ball 40 plus times in a game that you were leading. You didn't stop throwing it around. I think it's what they want to do. Now, I think Brian Kelly still needs to be heavily involved in play calling. That is of my humble opinion. But I don't know if that's going to happen. And I will say this. It is very interesting for me when you have Aaron Anderson, Nick Anderson, who most of these portal guys are already coming in here and getting to work. Chris Hilton, Bauer Sharp, Barry Brown, Trey Green. You got a lot of speed, and you got some freakish athletes. I don't know from a receiving game standpoint that, well, just an offensive standpoint, that your strongest position is not tossing the pill around a lot. It probably is the thing that you need to do the most. The problem with that is that you got to have a quarterback that also gets to work and stops turning the ball over. Because you went to that system, you're trying to go to that system, and you went and spent the money for that system. You can't turn the ball over in that system because that's what gets you Well, quite frankly, it's what gets your ass beat. So I've been asked a lot, what do I think is going to happen with play calling at LSU offensively? I think it's fairly simple. I don't even think it's a guessing game at this point. I don't even think it's up for an opinion at this point until LSU proves us differently. Guys, not only most of the season did you not want to run the ball until BK got involved, you couldn't in moments. Guys, you relied on, and we think about great freshman running backs like Leonard Fournette, or who had a good season as a freshman, or you have a Justin Vincent type of situation here. Guys, you relied mainly on a true freshman to be your bell cow. You didn't even go with Josh Williams, who probably should have just been your lead back, and then sparingly you throw Caden out there, which basically is what happened, and that's why Josh had a lot of success. Your identity of who you are as a program has changed. And it didn't really necessarily change with Denbrock, but it's changed. You are not the line it up, ground and pound team that you once were. I remember a day where most LSU fans begged and pleaded for this to be the system that you run and to open things up. But I don't know if you haven't gone far enough or too far. Not only do I think that running the ball isn't a strength for you, I don't even know if you can do it. And now you're replacing pretty much an entire offensive line, and maybe you can with some of the guys that you brought in from the portal, even though you're trying to add another offensive lineman. But if you're asking me my opinion, what do you want to do? A quarterback's coach that's a coordinator. Well, I think he wants to toss the pill around. That's what I think. You got a lot of weapons, man. I can make the argument, and this is an imperative. I can make the argument with the overall receiving unit that you have. And I do throw in Bauer Sharp and Tradez Green. I can make the argument you're one of the best. I can make that argument. I don't know if I can win it, but I can make it. Even in that, you can't, guys, quite simply, you can't turn the ball over. You got to make better decisions. By the way, your two of your three or two of your four top receiving units that you're bringing in here has zero chemistry with your quarterback. Zero. They've never thrown a pass to one another in a competitive situation. So chemistry, being together is a big deal. I hope that the only thing that I hope that I hear during the offseason is that Garrett Nussmeier, Nick Anderson, Barry Brown, Aaron Anderson, and Chris Hilton, all they're doing is getting together and getting to work. It's all I care about. Because I have a pretty good thought process of that's what you're going to be. Because there's no way that you're not trying to take the top off of a defense. Now, what could happen because you have so much speed is this. You could scare teams enough to back them out of the box, and where they don't even want to test you. That they're so scared that they're going to give up the big play that they back out. The reason that's interesting, again, I bring up the 19 scenario. I bring up the 19 scenario in reference to just a philosophy of, guys, remember how many light boxes LSU saw late in the season? Guys, Kirby Smart in the SEC championship game went to a 3-2-6. A 3-2-6. Clemson went to a 3-2-6. Guys, they would put 5 dudes in the box. And they dared you to run the football. They begged you to run the football. You're going to get light boxes, and you better be able to run it in crucial situations. Clyde Edwards-Helaire benefited so much from light boxes. What did Bama do? Bama, a lot of times, would leave 5 at outright max 6 guys in the box. And it was barely 6. And they stood up both defensive ends, and they rushed you the entire time. There is no bigger offseason for a player than Garrett Nussmeier. No one on this team has to have a bigger offseason than him. If he can limit those turnovers, guys, you're a playoff contending team. That is just the truth. You're a playoff contending team if your quarterback can eliminate some of these turnovers. Do I have faith in him that he can? You're damn right I have faith in him that he can. Because you cannot win football games in this league when you turn the ball over as much as you did. It's virtually impossible. Remember the time that Les, with a young freshman quarterback, first-time starter, redshirt freshman quarterback, but a first-time starting quarterback, remember what happened with Les? You remember going 8-4 that year? What's the common denominator? Well, Garrett and Jared had a lot of turnovers. And their names rhyme. Eventually, Jared Lee would lead you to a championship game, though. Can Garrett? That's the ultimate question. It's the question that I have. Defensively, I do think that I went back, and me and my national co-host Joe talked about this because he watches a lot of film, a lot of other teams' films for his NFL show. Blake Baker used to stand up both ends at Mizzou, and they would do a hybrid of a lot of different things. What's interesting about this LSU defense is I don't know if I think schematically things don't change a bunch. What I do think changes is how you utilize your personnel and how you look in doing it. I love that Blake Baker is an aggressive DC. I love that he attacks opponents. I love that he goes after opponents. I hate being passive. I think there's no other sign of being a chihuahua instead of a pit bull than you sitting on your heels and not trying to get after a quarterback. We don't want puppies. We don't want toy poodles. We want Rottweilers and Doberman pinchers. We want dudes that will go out there and beat the dog shit out of you when it's needed. And look, Harold Perkins comes back. I am dying to see how they utilize him. I hope it's at Star. We talked about this with Wilson Alexander last night. Nobody sent more nickel pressure last year, nickel meaning Star 2. Nobody sent more pressure than you in that position. Nobody, no way, no how, no one. Now, that's not my saying. You can go look it up on PFF. No one. So if they're wrong, they're wrong. No one. Bring the house down on these sons of bitches. Bring the house down. Here's what I really think about defense right now. Here's my God's honest opinion. I think that the edge pressure, Star, Pyburn, Patrick Payton, the edge contained presence that you have has the potential to be something special. They have the talent to do it. Guys, if I told you a year ago that Harold Perkins would come back and the ACC's leading pressure guy in the ACC and Pat Payton would be rushing from both ends in certain situations, and if you would take it, would you take it? You would say, God bless America, my home, sweet home. Hell yes. I think you can do some special things if you get to work. I don't know if you're athletic enough at linebacker. I'll be real with you. I don't think you're good at all at safety. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with a guy like Tamarcus Cooley. It's going to be interesting, and I think that he probably will, unless LSU ends it. I think that he could even take more visits. I don't know. I really don't. But even if he does, you're not good at safety. You better get after a quarterback. You better put more pressure on teams than the pressure is used to make diamonds. Shine bright like a diamond, like you're Dustin Poirier. Some of you will get that. I don't think schematically much changes. I hope Blake Baker never goes to that amoeba look that he does. Put people on the line of scrimmage. Get after human beings' ass. Get after their ass. And here's the truth, and I never want to hear it again. I have seen many of you talk about this defense being better without Harold Perkins. Are you Looney Tune? Are you Looney Tune? Because you're acting like it. You gave up 311 yards and you think on the ground and you think you got better. You damn fools. You know good and damn well y'all didn't get better. We didn't get better. He is a freak athlete. What does he look like coming back from an ACL? I don't know. But I know this. You have what could be 2 top 50 picks that in certain situations can be rushing the passer. That's what I know. Potential. Not saying that they'll go there. Potential. That's what I think. But you know what you cannot do? Guys, the biggest area right now for this LSU team is what you do in that interior of that defensive line, man. Really, it is. I have more faith in Bo Davis than a lot of people. I told you coming into last year, there's a reason we did not talk about Bo Davis at all. We never talked hardly at all about the interior defensive line in reference to what you had there. Bo got to get to work, man. He's the best interior defensive line coach in the country. Well, if he is, then we need him more than we need anything because you got to be better at stopping the run. You got to be able to disrupt things to where when you get a quarterback that can run, you got to be able to shut them down. So from a play calling standpoint offensively, I think you're going to toss the pill around, and I think that you're going to get after quarterbacks. Right now with the personnel that you have, that's all you can hope for. And you got to pray to God that you can go bump and run man-to-man coverage on the outside and win a lot of those battles. Now, I don't know if you can. Now, you had one quarterback today in Carson Beck that's leaving, and you don't play Georgia next year. The only time that you will be in a championship game, but he left Georgia, so it doesn't matter. There's rumors out there circulating that Jackson Dart has filed a waiver. Rumors, not confirmed, anything like that. Rumors that he may want to return to Ole Miss for another year and seek a hardship. Well, if that's the case, then we'll see. I don't know. But finally, it leads me to this before we get to a break. Then we'll talk playoffs, get to drawing, and then get out of here. But it leads me to this. What do you do at tight ends, Coach? What do you do there? There are 3 names that constantly people bring up to me. One is Tommy Reese, and I just don't know if I can see that happening at the current moment. I don't. Where I felt like it could, it just seems like he's going to get that Browns OC job. And if he does, good on him. He's not going to come here and be a tight ends coach and not call plays. A guy that was in the running for the North Carolina head coaching job. Golly, my back. But I am interested to see what happens with a guy like Alex Atkins. We've talked about Alex Atkins before, the O-line coach. Can he coach tight end? He's been a play caller. I don't know what Brian Kelly wants at that position. I hope personally that you go after somebody that can develop tight ends. Really, I do. Because Lord knows that you have a special human being in Trey Green that you just cannot mess up. You cannot mess him up. Now, Alex Atkins is interesting because he could teach Trey Dez or Bauer Sharp or J.D. LaFleur, whoever it is, and be better with them in the blocking style of things. The interesting thing is that's where Trey Dez and Bauer need the most help. They don't necessarily need help on what to do in running routes and being freak of natures when they catch the football. So, Alex Atkins, the former Florida State offensive coordinator and O-line coach, who, by the way, the only reason you got Solomon Thomas is because, well, he was fired from Florida State. And before you say, well, Blake, why would we hire him? They were awful, god-awful at Florida State. He got suspended, if you remember. Early in the season, in those games they lost. He wasn't even there, and by the time he got there, things had gotten so chaotic. And by the way, I don't think he wanted DJ Uiagalelei. I think that he wanted somebody else at quarterback, and Mike Norvell made him go get DJU, and then the rest was history. Actually, because he's suspended, we know that that's pretty much what had happened. He was trying to pawn off DJU to his head coach because he did not believe that he would help win them football games. Ultimately, he was right. So, there are some other names that I think have been floated out there that have been head coaches or coordinators of late at small schools that I would take a look at and that I would actually bring in. It's really listen to what that last statement was, and maybe you can put some context clues together. But we'll see. We will see. I don't know where they go, though. I do not know. All right. Hunter Specht says, might have missed it, but how was the 24-hour fast? Good. We ended 15, 30-ish minutes before the show. So I went 23 hours and 30 minutes. It went good. Went very good. I try to do once every other week. Once every other week. H-Town Creole says, but they know football reminds me of benching JD5 for the Nuss bus. Yeah, I never understood that. Look, I think that every quarterback that you've had, every starting quarterback, and I'm going to even put I'll even put Max Johnson in there for what it's worth. I think every starting quarterback from Burrow on, Miles Brennan, I'm not going to throw in there because God bless his soul. How about this? Every second year starting quarterback that's come back, the year that they've come back, all have had something massive that they needed to work on. With Joe, ironically, it was more accuracy and understanding what was going on around him. Once he got that, I mean, it was pretty much over. Jaden, a lot of the same thing, regardless of what we want to say about him, was he needed better connection. I mean, I don't think they were trying to force the ball to Kayshon Boutte, but he wasn't even clearly close to being their best receiver. We know that based off Malik and Brian Thomas Jr. Garrett's got to work on knowing the offense better and cutting those turnovers out. Step up in the pocket and stop spinning out right. And I say right by meaning his right. When he's sitting back in the pocket and he likes to spin out, step up in that thing and fire. Take a hit. Maybe that Oklahoma moment was that for Garrett. And I don't even mind Garrett's turnover against Baylor, if I'm being honest. I know I've talked about that some. I talked about it on the postgame show. I don't even mind Garrett's turnover. He got baited by Dave Aranda and he threw a pick. God, good Lord. I mean, like, and I expect that from Dave. I expect that from anybody. Can't have that happen a lot, but goodness gracious. No, at Pegasus, it's not Mac Brown. Mac Brown's not coming here. John Sibley Butler says, I guess the Tigers will continue to emphasize on the tight end. Moss was excellent tight end, but the team was built around running backs and wide receiver speed. 100%. 100%. Matthew Conkle with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Matthew. Says, I hope the 2025 team has more piss and vinegar, both sides of the ball, lay the wood, pause, and move people. Matthew, I 1,000% agree. I mean, Look, your philosophy, though, is not of doing that. But listen, bro, y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? If you've been here long enough, y'all remember me getting in this argument with a lot of people, even with Carter. That 2019 team, they move people. I mean, shit, Damian Lewis is still in the league, moving people. I'm telling you, man, it was the best offensive line you've ever had. I'm calling it. And you might have the top tackle on the board that's coming off in Will Campbell. Man, what do I know? Got to find a way to run the football, man. But it to John Sibley or to Matthew's point here, I hope that you are more physical. We let off the show with it, man. Like I want to be in the 14 playoff. Like I want my team playing tonight. I don't want to be live right now. I want to be live at the end of the show or at the end of a game. And then, so what? It's a Thursday. Like who gives two Rudy Poos? You'll stay up for it. I know you will. Call in on Friday. Who gives a Rudy Poo? All right. Let me get to a quick break. When we come back, we got a drawing to do. Windbar drawing. We'll do that next. Stay with us. Guys, I want to talk to you about our good friends over the Drake Williams Law Firm and Drake Title Company. Are you facing tough times due to an injury from a car accident, navigating the complexities of divorce, or purchasing a new home? At the Drake Williams Law Firm and Drake Title Company, they understand the challenges you're going through, and they are here to help. The lawyer team of Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, along with Morgan Daniels, have the experience and proven track record to give you that peace of mind. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. That's 985-386-7600 to schedule a free consultation at their brand new office located in historic downtown Ponchatoula. They're also doing a special, the AYS special. If you're refinancing or closing on a home in Southeast Louisiana, request the Drake Title Company to handle your closing. If you mention Blake Ruffino and AYS, you're going to receive a $400 discount on title fees. Again, give them a call at 985-386-7600. Let them know that Blake Ruffino sent you. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirement.
Louisiana is unique. The food, the festivals, even the bugs. No, not mud bugs. Unwanted bugs like these. The ones you don't want crawling in your home or business. Trust the Shield from J&J Exterminating. We've been protecting Louisiana homes for over 50 years, earning the trust of our clients because we deliver what we promise. Protect your home from pests. Get the Shield from J&J Exterminating.
J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
We're back. All right. Where is my pen? I always lose my stupid pens. I don't even know where my... There it is. Okay. Sid, the whole commercial break and don't look for a pen. Going to talk about the playoffs here in just a minute, but got to wrap it up with this. About a month ago, I came out here and I challenged a lot of people, and I don't even know if challenge is a good word to use, but you and I had a conversation. Brian Kelly, well, even before Brian Kelly went to a podium, you and I had talked about that I did not think that you had the personnel at the current moment to be a playoff contender, and not even a playoff contender to be what our ultimate goal is, be a national title contender. And the conversation that a lot of us had, and what me and you had for sure on the show, early October, November, December was, listen, when the portal opens, you got to go get playmakers. And I feel like you did. And I pushed and said, let's go be great. Let's go take it to them, and let's go get dudes in here. You all responded. The next week, Brian Kelly comes out here and goes, listen, we need your help. We need to push the collective. It was like a light bulb went off for me. I was like, hey, let's go do it. And it came on for you too. That we got to go be great. Tons of you started giving to Bayou Traditions, myself included. You gave, I gave. We just want LSU football to be great. We want to be in that playoff scenario every single year. So I challenged you. Let's go give. So then we got with our good friend Jared Wilson over at Bayou Traditions. And I said, you know what? We're all trying to raise money. We know what the world that we live in is. Well, I want to be a part of it. But what can we do? Non-paid spokesperson here. Why don't we do something for people when they start giving? And that's what we did. So tonight, we're about to do a drawing. 147 people gave, thousands of dollars raised. Thank you. You give me the ability to come out here and do this every night. Thank you. So we're about to pull a name out of here, and once we pull it out, we're going to contact you if you're not already watching the show. But we're going to get you a customized LSU Windbar as a gratitude of thank yous for you giving to the collective and Bayou Traditions. So, to everyone listening on audio podcasts, I'm sorry that you cannot see this, but we're about to do a drawing. This is a complete random, and we're going to pull out somebody's name that gave money. Are all of you in the chat ready to go? Are you ready to go? I'm going to do it again. Thumbs up, thumbs down in the chat. You ready to go? All right. Let's draw a name. Not even going to look. All right. Drew Sama is the winner of the LSU Windbar. Drew, we have drawn your name. I don't know if you can really see that. The light's kind of affecting it. Drew Sama at Drew_Sama. Samaya. I don't know how you say his last name. But Drew, congratulations. Now my camera's messed up. There we go. Drew is the winner of the LSU Windbar. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Drew. He at Drew_Sama. All right, good for him. We're about to reach out to him now. Drew, if you're in here, let us know. Let us know. Anyway, we're going to reach out to him. All right. Playoffs are here. So would I throw all these names away now? Let's draw another name. Donnie Duke would have been in second. And Christopher Dykes, who gave $1,000, would have been third. Trey Lee would have been fourth. Those are the names we pulled. Those are the names we pulled. So congratulations to Drew. We got to reach out to him. All right. Playoffs are here. Listen, Here's what I think is going to happen tonight. Jeremiah Love, I've been hitting this on Ruffino and Joe show all week. It's going to be 75 to 80% and wearing a massive knee brace. I don't know if that dude's going. That might be problems for Notre Dame. They're also battling the flu. I picked Penn State earlier in the week. I think that I just think it's going to be too close to call, man. Way too close to call. So we'll see. All right. We're going to reach out for Drew. Thank you for everybody that gave to the collective. Continue to do that. We greatly appreciate y'all doing that. We're going to get out of here. Let's go watch the playoff, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.